Welcome to episode 55 of Uncovering the Corners of the World podcast. I'm your host, Karina Kasmala. Using research and my personal experiences, where I actually set foot in some of these places, I'll be describing some of the unknown attractions in both the US and around the world. This week, we are returning to Georgia to explore some of its other unique attractions. Our first attraction is located in Georgia's Sweetwater Creek State Park at 1750 Mount Vernon Road in Lithia Springs, Georgia. As we walk along the wooden trail in the forest, we come across the ruins of an old building. For the most part, only the walls of the building are left. These are the New Manchester Mill ruins. Built in the 1840s, the New Manchester Mill was powered by the Sweetwater Creek, where the creek pushed a 45,000-pound, 16-foot-long wheel to power the mill. 100 employees worked at this mill, producing cotton up until the Civil War. This mill was once the largest factory in Georgia and was originally called the Sweetwater Mill. The New Manchester Mill produced uniforms for the Confederate Army. In 1857, the Sweetwater Mill was renamed to New Manchester Manufacturing Company in honor of the city of Manchester, in England. During the Civil War on July 2, 1864, the Union, under General William T. Sherman, burned down the mill after the Confederate troops retreated. Besides the mill, at the Georgia Sweetwater Creek State Park, there is also a 215-acre George Sparks Reserve for fishing, and there's also the Sweetwater Creek Museum and Visitor Center that holds maps, clothing, and tools that were used during the 1850s. We travel about 20 miles to our second attraction in Atlanta, Georgia. Located at 121 Baker Street Northwest in Atlanta is the World of Coca-Cola. Today, you can buy Coca-Cola just about anywhere. You can buy Coca-Cola in cans or bottles at grocery stores and gas stations, and can even order it with your meals in restaurants. Yet, in the 1880s, the only place people could buy the drink was at a pharmacy. The popular fizzy drink dates back to 1886, when Dr. John Pemberton at Jacob's Pharmacy sold the first glass of Coca-Cola for 5 cents a glass. Dr. Pemberton created the syrup and combined it with carbonated water that is used to make Coca-Cola. Signs that advertised the refreshing soda fountain drink were hand-painted oil signs. The Coca-Cola Company was founded in 1892 in Atlanta, Georgia. As you step inside the World of Coca-Cola, you can see several exhibits that go beyond just explaining the history of Coca-Cola. There's one particular exhibit where you can actually taste beverages from around the world, while another exhibit puts your nose to the test to see whether you can distinguish between different smells. Another part of the museum describes the secret recipe, the bottling process of the drink, and debunks the popular myths surrounding Coca-Cola, while also giving visitors a chance at creating and mixing their own flavor combinations in the interactive parts of the exhibit. For our third attraction, we stay in Atlanta, Georgia. Rather than explore the city, we travel to a bamboo forest that was created by Kathy O'Brien in the 1940s. Hidden in the forest is a treehouse made of bamboo. Roaming the forest below the treehouse are animals you wouldn't typically find. Bolivian Surrey alpacas and llamas graze on the bamboo beneath the treehouse. Visitors can have a chance to meet the llamas and alpacas, or even take a yoga class with the llamas. The treehouse was built from cedar and pine and includes reused architectural pieces such as stained glass from the 1800s, French-style doors that are at least 120 years old, and the roof is made from metal clad. Inside the treehouse, there is vintage furniture and includes everything a typical apartment might have, like air conditioning, central heating, beds, and bath. Walk past the treehouse and you'll come across the owner's barn. The 3.5-acre barn houses the alpacas, llamas, and chickens. They care for animals that were neglected, abandoned, and have health issues when they first arrived at the farm. Visitors can book a stay at the treehouse or tour the farm. Thank you for listening to this week's episode. If you're curious and want to learn more about the new Manchester Mill ruins, visit the website georgiastateparks.org and read the article, Take a Walk Through Time, and learn about the history of the new Manchester Textile Mill by Scott Flynn on WSBTV.com. If you want to learn more about the World of Coca-Cola, visit the website worldofcoca-cola.com. If you're interested in learning more about the Alpaca Treehouse, visit the website alpacatreehouse.com. Have a great week.